Hello everybody, welcome to another Let's Learn the Track video Global Mazda edition, this time from the gorgeous Laguna Seca. Many thanks to the sponsor of this series, simrigs.com. Please have a look in the video description at their website. Now, Laguna Seca will always have a special place in my heart. This is where I did my first ever race at Laguna Seca in the Mazda on a gamepad, and this is where I got my first ever win here in the Mazda. I'll put the weather on screen now. I'm using iRacing default weather. Session time is morning to match the official series, and I'm using the baseline setup for the Mazda. Now, usual Let's Learn the Track stuff applies. We're going to do a couple of slow laps. I'm going to show you what I use as my braking markers and my reference points. Then we'll slowly try and pick up the pace to show you those in action on a flying lap. Now, I will upload my B lap and O lap files to my Discord channel if you go on there and have a look, if you wanted to use them as a ghost to compare my lines to yours. Anyway, enough waffling on, let's get out on track. Now, here we are on pit lane in the Mazda. Now, if you need to pit in the Mazda series, then you've either got a penalty and you've got to stop and go, or you've had damage and you've come in for your fast repair. Now, pit exit isn't too bad. You don't really need to worry about too much. Obviously, stay within the speed limit until you get to the green cone. And then you head down the hill, which is narrow, but you can fly down here, no problem. And generally, I start to brake at the end of the, just at the end of the sandy area there. Then down into second. Dead easy to run wide and get off tracks. This little pit exit's off camber. Now, the only thing you need to worry about is when you exit pit lane, is here. The cars coming round on a flying lap should generally be on the other side of the circuit, so you shouldn't really have to worry about those, but just keep an eye on your relative, just in case. That's the box that's showing in the bottom left there. So, this turn, we'll talk about turn one next time by. So here, we're going to be in third gear here, and what I use as my braking marker is the end of the curb there, where it's darker, where it's rubbered. So you can see the rubbered area on the curb there. So there's the two, then there's the rubbered area, then it lightens. So just where that curb lightens there, that's what I use as my braking marker. So third gear. Turn in here at Laguna Seca is pretty much at the end of all the curbs, or not far off. So if you turn in just before the end of the curbs, you'll be just fine. So third gear. So braking, trail braking a little bit just to get the car to rotate. Try not to hit that red sausage there on the inside on this curb. The next one's fine, but that one, it's a little bit harsh. So try not to hit that if you can help it. Let the car run all the way out wide. Now, in the old Mazda, before it changed, you used to hook fourth gear here before this right turn, but now just leave it in third gear. And then on this curb, and then just before the end of this curb, we're going to be turning in third gear. Just lift off the gas if needs be, just to get the car to rotate. Now, you can hit that curb a bit. If you're going fast enough, then the car will just skip over there, no problem at all. Now, down to this section here, which is really important here, because what you don't want anybody being able to go up the inside of you, going up the hill towards the kink. So exit to this turn is really important. So we're going to be in fourth gear at this point. We're going to be braking at this white line on the right hand side. So it's in between the 3 and the 2, and we're going to be braking there in a straight line in third gear. Turn in is just before the end of the curb there. So round about here, we're going to be turning in, braking, trail braking to the apex, and then as soon as you're on the apex here, you want to be accelerating. The car might want to oversteer, but it is cambered a little bit there, so you can carry a little bit more speed through there than you would think. And this is where you need a good run, because it's uphill here, and if you go too wide through the kink, if you're on the outside, there's a good chance that you're going to get punted into next week. Now, the braking marker here, well, you can see it there, is if you look at the curb on the right hand side, you can see it's light. I'm pointing my orange stripe on my steering wheel at it there, so you can see it's light and then it goes darker. It's the darker section where we want to be braking there for this turn. So we're going to be in 4th gear. And we're going to be braking here, and we're going to be turning in, oh blimey, before the end of the curb, just before the end of the curb. And then we're going to be just hitting this dip. Whatever you do, don't hit that red curb there, because that will cause significant damage to your car. And we're going to be hitting this in the dip, and then on the gas as soon as we can. As soon as we're in the dip there, we're going to be on the gas for the run up to the infamous corkscrew. Now, this isn't as tricky as you may think. So we're going to be approaching it 4th gear. We're going to be clipping this curb. We're going to be straight lining this. We're going to be heading there for that number 3, the curb there. As soon as we get to this curb, we're going to be braking hard, down into 3rd gear, then down into 2nd gear, turning in around about the 1, and then we're going to be clipping this inside curb. And then when you get here, aim for that tree there. There's 2 trees. There's that one, and there's that one. If you aim for the tree on the right hand side, if we look slowly, aim for the tree, we're right on the apex for the right hand part of the corkscrew, so it's blind. So you turn in left, aim for that tree, and as long as you're pointing at that tree, then you will make the apex for this right hand section of the corkscrew. Now then we're up into 3rd gear, so we don't want to run too wide here, so kind of in the middle of the circuit there, and then we're just going to lift off the gas, because this car will rotate with the new tyre model. We're going to lift off the gas just till we get to the apex, then on the gas, the car will run out wide, back over here. Now, you'll be in 4th gear at this point, and in the old Mazda, I used to leave it in 4th gear around here, but now I quite like to change down into 3rd. So change down to 3rd, just before the end of the curb. We're going to be turning in. We're going to be right on the curb on the inside. Try not to hit that sausage. And then accelerate out up into 4th gear. And then across to the right hand side for the final turn. Now, it's really, really easy to get a little bit greedy here. But the exit to this turn is far more important than entry. So I brake just after the 2. Probably between the 2 and the 1, so but if we brake at the 2, we're going to get it stopped quite easily. So just after the 2, brake, and then what we're going to be doing, we're going to be turning in quite late, because we want to be clipping this inside curb and want to be thinking about the exit, because we want to be on the gas there as early as we possibly can. And you will get an off track if you run too wide on the right hand side. So then it's accelerating all the way over the start finish line. This is probably going to be one of the most common overtaking opportunities here at Laguna Seca. Quite easy to defend here though, as long as you don't get greedy if you are defending on the inside. But on a flying lap, we're going to be over to the right hand side, and my braking marker is that white line there. Nice big bold white line. That's what we're going to be using as our braking marker. So we're going to be braking in a straight line, but then slowly moving across towards the 1st apex, then down into 2nd gear. So we're going to clip this 1st apex. The car will run wide. We're going to be patient with the gas. Don't get on the gas too early, because you will run wide, because the track comes back on you here. So then we're going to be being patient and clipping that 2nd apex. Then the car over to the left hand side, so we're going to be braking just at the end of that rubber section of track there. Trail braking to get the car to the apex. Accelerating all the way out wide onto this curb, then getting back off the curb, leaving it in 3rd gear, back on the curb. Just before the end of the curb there, we're going to be turning in. You can clip that curb there, that's fine, it's no problem. And then accelerating all the way down, braking at the white line in 3rd gear. Accelerating all the way up the hill. We're going to be in 4th gear, leaving it in 4th gear. So the darker section of curb there, we're going to be braking there, just aiming for that inside curb, that apex. Don't hit that sausage. Then accelerating all the way up here in 4th gear. Over this curb, straight line it, aim for this curb here. Then we're going to be braking hard, down into 3rd gear, down into 2nd gear. Then we're going to be clipping that inside curb, aiming for that tree, and then down over that right hand part of the corkscrew, down to this left. Now we're going to be just off the gas, the car will rotate. As soon as it's aiming for that apex, we're going to be on the gas. 4th gear, then back down to 3rd gear, and aim for this inside curb, on the gas as soon as you hit the apex. 4th gear, then braking just after the 2, braking 3rd gear, 2nd gear, apex quite late, cut this inside curb, and then get on the gas. Right, I'll do it 2 or 3 laps, warm the tyres up, and then we'll resume when we're on a flying lap. Right, here we are then, going on to lap number 4. Tyres are suitably warm now, I think. So we're going to be braking on the right hand side, leaving in 4th gear, braking at the white line. 3rd gear, down to 2nd, aim for that first apex. Be really patient here. I was a little bit early on the gas there, but it's fine. And we move over to the left hand side, so we're braking just to the end of the rubber section of the curb. We're going to be on that curb, then off the curb, leaving it in 3rd gear. Just before the end of the curb, we're going to be turning in. And on the gas as early as you possibly can. Over to the right hand side, we're going to be braking at the white line down to 3rd gear. Turn before the end of the curb. Aim for that first apex, get on the gas. Too early on the gas there, but it's fine. We'll manage to keep it within track limits. Tyre's still a little bit cool, so braking just at the 2, turning in, missing that sausage, but just before you get to the apex, try and get on the gas. The car will dip and it will have quite a lot of grip there. So we're braking just at the top of the hill, down to 3rd gear, down to 2nd gear, clip that inside curb, aim for that tree, there it is, and then down to this left hand side. So just off the gas, the car will want to rotate there it goes, but on the gas, 4th gear, then down into 3rd, turning just before the end of the curb, and brake just after the 2, going down to 3rd, down to 2nd, quite late turning because we want to clip that curb. Right, we'll try and pick up the pace a tiny bit if we can, see if we can get a better lap. I was a little bit sloppy. It was a 40.9, so yeah, there's much more time left. So we're going to be braking at the white line, down to 3rd gear, down to 2nd gear, try and be as patient as you can. It's really easy to get on the gas a bit too early there. And then over to the left hand side, so braking just at the end of the rubbered section there. As soon as you get to the apex or just before, get on the gas. It's all about getting on the gas early here at Laguna. So just before the curb, we're going to be turning in. Again, on the gas before you get to the apex. A little bit sloppy. Over to the right hand side, braking at the white line. Down to 3rd gear. There we go, that's a little bit better. Up to 4th gear, so we're going to be looking for the darker section of curb. There it is, we're going to be turning in on the gas at the apex, or just before if we can. Over to the left hand side, straight line this section. Top of the hill, we're going to be braking. Down to 3rd gear, down to 2nd gear. Clip that first curb, right across there, aim for that tree. Middle of the track, don't need to go super wide here. Off the gas just to get the car to rotate. Up and at 4th and down into 3rd gear. Just before the end of the curb, we're going to be turning on the gas before the apex. And then just after the 2, we're going to be braking down to 2nd gear, late apex, because you want to be on the gas early and hold it all the way up the start finish line. So there we go, see what this lap time is. It might be a little bit quicker, hopefully. Yeah, 40.39, so a little bit quicker. Definitely get sub 40s here. I am a little bit rusty, and my braking markers that I'm showing you are a little bit conservative. So the braking markers that I'm showing you should be doable for you guys, no problem at all. But that's Laguna Seca in the Global Mazda. Hopefully it helps. Now the OLAP files and the BLAP files will be added to my Discord. So go and check out those. You can compare them, load them into your sim, and you can race against my Ghost Lap to compare my lines against your lines. Hopefully that'll help. Let me know in the comments how you get on this week. Does this help? Am I missing something? If I am, let me know in the comments, and if I think it'll help everybody, I'll pin it to the top. So that's all from me. Again, I mentioned simrigs.com. Please have a look at their website that's in the video description. Good luck, everybody. Have a good week. I'll see you later. Cheers.